Ms. Lesko of Arizona for her 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for your work. It's so important that we identify fraud and waste in U.S. taxpayer dollars being spent. So thank you and your staff. I'm from a border state, Arizona, and I'm on the Border Security Caucus here in Congress. I have visited the border multiple times, and in my visits and in speaking to Border Patrol officers and local Arizona elected officials along the border, they have told me there is no vetting of the adults where immigrant children are being sent, and that girls are being placed in homes where they are sold into sex slavery. This is horrifying. This is horrifying if we are letting this happen. There was a memorandum of agreement put in place in 2018 between Department of Homeland Security and HHS that agreed to have a process for vetting who unaccompanied migrant children would be released to. I have been told that HHS and DHS changed the MOA after the Biden administration took over in 2021, and it removed the vetting requirement. In addition, according to reports, ORR does not have the ability to track released children and, I quote, could not reach more than 85,000 children 1 month after they were placed with an adult. This is alarming. I mean, really alarming what we are allowing to happen to young children. First question is, are you familiar with this change in the memorandum of agreement between DHS and HHS?
Vice Chair Lesko, I appreciate your question. We have made recommendations for better MOUs between DHS and with DOJ. I am not familiar with that specific change. We're happy to take a look at that and get back to you.
My next question is, how are sponsors vetted now?
That is a great question, Vice Chair Lesko. I do not have at my fingertips the exact guidance that is now being used to vet sponsors. That would be a better question to ask of ORR. I can tell you, though, that our report looking at vetting of sponsors will illuminate, hopefully, what risks exist in placing children with sponsors and what risk exists with the current processes being used to vet sponsors. Our reports have consistently recommended rigorous vetting of sponsors.
Well, I hope somebody listens to your recommendations because this is truly alarming. It's truly alarming if the United States of America is allowing girls to be sold into sex slavery and not vetting who we're sending these people to. So thank you for your investigation on that. I have a question, changing subjects a bit. The HHS Health Resources and Service Administration manages the Countermeasures Injury Compensation Program, called CICP. It's charged with compensating those injured by the COVID-19 vaccinations. Very few cases, however, have been approved for compensation, and many cases have been sitting for a couple years now. Has your office looked into the operation and efficiency of this program?
Representative Lesko, we do have work that looks at the Provider Relief Fund and the Uninsured Fund. Both are programs that are administered by HRSA. We have work looking at, across many different audits that are touching about 50% of payments that have gone out from HRSA. Accuracy of payments in many instances would look at whether or not they were appropriately approved or appropriately denied. I am not familiar with this specific type of claim, let us look at what our ongoing work is looking at, and we'll get back to you to see if this is touched on.
Thank you very much. My time has expired, and I yield back.
Thank you, gentlelady, for yielding back. Now recognize Ms. Kamick of Florida for her 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate